My family worshipped my sister like a saint until Thanksgiving, when I revealed I'm a multi-millionaire. She threw her wine. My mom had a breakdown, and my dad just whispered, "You lied to us." And let's all thank God for Sarah's promotion to senior vice president. Mom's voice rang out across the Thanksgiving table, loud, proud, practically singing. Everyone clapped. 12 family members squeezed around the dining room table, candles flickering, smell of turkey and stuffing heavy in the air, crystal glasses catching the light. My sister Sarah beamed, 33 years old, designer dress, perfect hair, raising her wine glass like she'd just won an Oscar. Thank you. It's been such an incredible journey. Meanwhile, Uncle Tom said, nodding at me with that pitying look I'd seen 1,000 times. Jake's still doing his little tech thing, right? Still coding in his apartment? Everyone chuckled. Polite laughter, uncomfortable laughter, the kind that says, "We're laughing with you," but really means, "We're laughing at you." Still coding, I said, voice flat, taking a bite of mashed potatoes. In your apartment, Dad added, emphasis on apartment, like it was a disease. Working from home, no office, no structure. Sarah leaned over, whispered loud enough for everyone at the table to hear. That was her specialty, fake whispers that carried. Don't worry, Jake, some people are late bloomers. You'll figure it out eventually. More laughter, more pitying looks. Aunt Linda patted my shoulder like I was a wounded animal. I cut my turkey, said nothing, just chewed, smiled when appropriate. This was every holiday, every family dinner, every phone call, every interaction for the past 10 years. Sarah, the golden child, Harvard MBA, corner office at a Fortune 500 company, designer suits that cost more than most people's monthly rent, penthouse apartment in Manhattan that she never shut up about. Me, the dropout, the disappointment, the one who quit college junior year to play with computers and throw his life away. Sarah just closed a $10 million deal with a Chinese manufacturing firm, Mom announced to the table, like she was announcing a royal birth. Can you believe it? $10 million! Applause, more praise, more worship. Grandma actually said, "God bless you," like Sarah had cured cancer. Jake, Aunt Linda said, turning to me with concern that felt more like condescension, "You're still living in that studio in Queens, right? The one you showed us pictures of?" "Yeah." "Still single?" Sarah asked, mock concern dripping from every word. "No girlfriend? No prospects?" "Yeah." Dad sighed, heavy, disappointed, the sigh I'd heard for a decade. "At 35, I thought you'd have figured things out by now. Thought you'd have a real career, a real life." I took a sip of water, stayed quiet, let them talk, let them assume. "Sarah's buying a house in Westchester," Mom said, voice trembling with pride. 4 bedrooms. Can you imagine? My baby girl, a homeowner at 33. "That's wonderful, sweetheart," Grandma said. "You've worked so hard." "Jake could probably never afford rent in Westchester," Sarah said, fake sympathy coding every word. "But that's okay. Not everyone can be successful. The world needs regular people too." The table went quiet, uncomfortable shifting. Uncle Tom cleared his throat. "Sarah," Mom said softly, half-hearted, "be nice to your brother." "I am being nice. I'm just being honest. Some people take different paths, slower paths. That's totally fine." I looked at her, really looked, saw the smugness, the superiority, the absolute certainty that she was better than me. "Different paths," I repeated, voice neutral. "Exactly. Nothing wrong with being average, with being ordinary. Someone has to be." Dad cleared his throat. "Let's talk about something else. The game on Sunday." But Sarah wasn't done. Never was. "Actually, Jake, I was thinking. My company is hiring entry-level IT support, desktop support, password resets, basic stuff. I could put in a word, get you something stable, benefits, structure, a real job." "Entry-level?" I said. "Well, you don't have a degree, so we'd have to start you at the bottom. But it's a foot in the door. Better than freelancing or whatever you're doing now." Mom brightened, actually brightened, like Sarah had just offered me salvation. "Oh, Jake, that would be wonderful. Your sister helping you. Family taking care of family. Think about it," Sarah said, patting my hand like I was a child. "I know things have been tough for you, struggling to make ends meet, living in that tiny studio. It must be so hard." I pulled my hand away, slowly, deliberately. The thing is, things hadn't been tough, hadn't been hard, hadn't been a struggle. They'd been incredible. They'd been beyond my wildest dreams. 10 years ago, I dropped out of college junior year to build an app, a simple productivity tool for remote workers, task management, calendar integration. Nothing revolutionary. Everyone thought I was insane, throwing my life away, making the biggest mistake possible. "You're destroying your future," Dad had said. "You'll regret this forever." "This is so embarrassing," Sarah had said. "How do I explain to people that my brother is a college dropout?" I launched it anyway. Bootstrapped. No investors, no fancy office, just me and my laptop in a studio apartment. Sold it 2 years later to a Silicon Valley company for $3 million, built another app, a collaboration platform for designers. Sold it for $8 million, then a third, a comprehensive platform for remote teams, video, chat, project management, everything integrated. Sold it last year to Microsoft for $47 million. After taxes, fees, and strategic investments, I was worth approximately $35 million. I lived in a studio apartment by choice, like the simplicity, no maintenance, no property taxes, freedom. I worked from home because I wanted to, because I could, because I didn't need an office to prove I was working. I stayed quiet quiet because I didn't need their validation, didn't need their approval, didn't need anything from them until today, until this exact moment, until I couldn't take it anymore. Sarah, I said calmly, voice steady, I appreciate the offer. Of course, that's what family does. We help each other. But I don't think entry-level IT support is quite right for me. She laughed, high-pitched, condescending. Jake, you can't be picky. You need experience. Real experience. Corporate experience. I have experience. Coding in your apartment by yourself isn't real experience. It's not the same as working for an actual company. I pulled out my phone, unlocked it, opened my banking app, the main dashboard, turned the screen toward her. What's this? She asked, confused, annoyed that I was interrupting her charity speech. My account balance, current liquid assets. She looked at the screen. Her face froze, completely froze, like time had stopped. That can't be right. That's not real. It's real. Mom leaned over, looked at the screen, hand flew to her mouth, gasped. $35 million, I said quietly. Give or take a few $100,000 depending on market fluctuations. The table went silent, completely silent. Even the candles seemed to stop flickering. Dad grabbed my phone from Sarah's hands, stared at the screen like it was written in a foreign language. This is a joke. Some kind of app that makes fake numbers. It's not. That's my Chase private client account. You can call the bank if you want to verify. You don't have this kind of money. You can't. You live in a studio apartment. You work from home. You don't even have a car. I sold 3 companies. The last one went for $47 million to Microsoft. It was in TechCrunch, Business Insider. Forbes even did a small piece. Sarah's face went from white to red, blotchy, ugly. You're lying. You're making this up to embarrass me. Google me. Jake Chen, tech entrepreneur, San Francisco. Uncle Tom pulled out his phone, started typing frantically. His eyes went wide, wider. Holy shit, he's telling the truth. There's articles, press releases, everything. He turned his phone around, showed the table. Forbes article, young entrepreneur sells collaboration platform to Microsoft for reported 47 mat. Mom started crying, full breakdown, mascara running. Why didn't you tell us? Why would you keep this secret? You never asked. You never once asked if I was successful. You just assumed I was failing. But we thought that I was a failure, that I was struggling, that I was barely making rent. Silence. Devastating silence. That I was embarrassing, average, living in a studio because I couldn't afford anything better. Dad's hands were shaking, actually shaking. You lied to us. For years. You lied. I didn't lie. I never lied. I just didn't correct your assumptions. There's a difference. Sarah stood up, chair scraping, face twisted with rage and humiliation. You let us think you were struggling. You let us feel sorry for you. You manipulated us. You wanted to think I was struggling. It made you feel better about yourself. Made your achievements seem bigger by comparison. That's not true. That's not every holiday, Sarah. Every single family dinner. You made me the punchline, the cautionary tale, the example of what not to do. Poor Jake who dropped out. Poor Jake who never figured it out. We were trying to help you, to motivate you. No, you were trying to feel superior, to feel like the successful one, the special one, the one Mom and Dad were proud of. She grabbed her wine glass, full glass of red wine, threw it at me. I moved. Glass shattered on the wall behind me. Red wine splashed across the white tablecloth, dripping, staining, ruining. You're a liar, she screamed, full scream, hysterical. You're a manipulative liar. Mom was sobbing now, full breakdown, hyperventilating. My son is a millionaire and I didn't even know. How could you do this to me? Dad just stared at me, shell-shocked. You could have told us, should have told us. Why? So you could treat me differently? So you could suddenly be proud? So you could tell people I was successful? We've always been proud. No, I cut him off, sharp, final. No, you haven't. You've been disappointed, embarrassed, ashamed, until exactly 30 seconds ago when you saw a number that changed how you see me. Sarah was shaking, trembling. I offered you a job. I tried to help you. I was going to save you. You offered me entry-level IT support making $45,000 a year. I made that much in interest last month. I could buy your entire company if I wanted to. Her face crumpled, actually crumpled. She sat down hard, started crying. Uncle Tom laughed, nervous, uncomfortable. Well, this is awkward, very awkward. Grandma spoke up, sweet voice, confused. Jake, honey, why do you live in a studio apartment if you have all this money? Because I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I don't need a mansion or a luxury car or designer suits to feel successful. Unlike some people, I looked directly at Sarah. She was crying harder now, mascara running, perfect hair falling apart. Every family dinner for 10 years, I said quietly, voice cold, controlled. Every time you introduced me as your less successful brother. Every time Dad sighed about my choices. Every time Mom looked disappointed. I could have stopped it, could have corrected you, but I wanted to see how long you'd keep going, how far you'd take it. That's cruel, Mom whispered. That's so cruel. Is it? Or is it honest? Or is it just revealing who you really are? I stood up, grabbed my jacket from the back of my chair. Simple jacket, $40 from Target. Where are you going? Dad asked, voice small, broken. Back to my studio apartment, the one I own outright, in a building I purchased last month. 12 units, great investment property. Sarah's head snapped up. You bought a building? Cash purchase, great location. Rent covers property taxes and maintenance with plenty left over. I walked toward the door, everyone watching, silent, stunned. Jake, wait, Mom said, desperate. Let's talk about this. Let's figure this out. I turned back one last time. Last look. You want to talk? Fine. Let's talk about how you made me feel small for 10 years because I didn't fit your definition of success. How you worshipped Sarah for doing exactly what you wanted. How you never once asked if I was happy, if I was fulfilled, if I was living the life I wanted. We just wanted what was best. No, you wanted what looked best, what you could brag about to your friends, what fit your narrative of success. There's a difference. I opened the door. Cold November air rushed in. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and I walked out.